Hey everyone, welcome to week 5. We're getting there. We're now on the downhill end of this term, so I suspect it's going to go by really fast. There are just a couple of things that we're going to review in this video. This is just going to be assignments, what we normally do in our webinar. That way you're prepared for this week, and also you have a heads up for what's coming up next week too. We'll talk a little bit about that final project as well. But first of all, any questions from last week that we had, I kind of sent out that email at the end of the week. There were some things that kind of came up over messaging with Remind, and I just want to give you a friendly reminder to please watch the videos. I know they can get boring and long, and particularly when you just want to check off your list of to do to get through the term. I guess in a lot of ways we could have a discussion about what it means to be educated and why we offer these classes. So please be mindful that when I send you these videos, it's not just for you to check off a box, but it's also for your own enlightenment and for you to be educated from, I guess, from my perspective, to expand your ideas and the way you see the world, and in addition to explain assignments. So just be mindful of that. If you have a social media platform presentation that you signed up for this week, what we're going to have you do is just upload to the discussion board on Canvas. Because we don't have a webinar scheduled this week, we're going to do it that way. We will be having a webinar on Monday, so if you do want to present yours to the class, which we would love, you can also just wait. Remember, these aren't due until the very end of the term. We just try to measure out who's presenting what on Zoom throughout the term. So if you want to wait, you can. If you are signed up for something this week and you're running into any roadblocks, please let us know, and Rachel and I will do what we can to help you. All right, so for this week, you're going to be reading Humphreys chapters 9 and 10 and Alter chapter 7. So I will be sending out with this video another video that is the lecture piece of this to go over what chapter 9 and 10 and chapter 11 is from Alter. But just a quick reminder, this is what your reading quiz will be about. Also, you have, in addition to the reading quiz assignment, your Wednesday discussion, so just that usual kind of pattern that we've developed. You're also going to be doing your blog post number 2 on your website. Now remember, you're just adding to your Comms 238 page. You don't need to create a new anything. Just add some text there that addresses the question in Canvas. And then we want you to start working on your proposal. It's due next Saturday, and I'm going to go over that in a little more detail when I switch over to Canvas. So these will be your readings for next week. Just keep a heads up on that. But let's look at Canvas here. I need to go to my home screen, of course, student view. We're on week 5, and so this is what you should be seeing. Done with this one, yay, check that box off, I guess. That's what feels good. When you click here on week 5, you'll see that we have the assignments as usual. And sorry, this will be blog post 2. We know we're getting to the point where everything's escalating a little bit, and we're aware of that. But you also have your group proposal coming up. So you'll see that it's listed under next week, but you need to sign up for your groups and your topics this week. Okay, so the sign up sheet is here. You click here to do that. There's one other place where you can click, and I will show you that in just a moment. But when you click here, it's going to bring you to a Google Doc that you can edit. And this is what you'll see. So you've worked in a group now. Hopefully it went well, and you want to keep working with the same group, let's say. So you'll list everybody's names here and the way you want to be contacted. And then here you need to decide what your topic is going to be. So as a group, you choose this topic. It can be from anything that we've studied in class. And what we're gonna do is do a little bit of research on it. So some examples from last semester were a group that did ask the question, you know, how did Utah universities respond to the COVID-19 crisis? What was their messaging across social media platforms? And so they kind of compared and contrasted messages. One group did, can social media really be an addiction? What are people's perceptions of that? So they asked people in their social networks if whether or not they thought they could be addicted to social media. You could talk about, wow, just anything. So the reason you write it here on this form is so that Rachel and I can go in and look at it. And if we see any red flags, we can help you hopefully focus on the same topic, but maybe narrow it down or make it more relevant to class. Usually what I have to end up doing is having people work on their research questions to help them with their final project, because remember, this is just step one of like a 3-step process where you're getting to your final paper. So that's what you're gonna do here, okay? So this all needs to be done by Saturday. If you go to the home page and to the module next week, you will also see this proposal link. This will be where you submit it. As a group, you only need to submit one, and just make sure everybody's names are on it and make sure you indicate who was assigned what part, just like you did on the midterm. But there's also the link here. So if you get to a place where you can't find the link, this is another place where you can find it. This also has some examples for you and a project template. So on the template, what we've done is we've basically given you kind of a fill in the blank of how this proposal is going to look. So this one is for the final project that we have here. I'm going to upload a different one. They're very, very similar though, because what you're going to do is you're going to include an introduction, a literature review, and some explanations here. So let me get to the proposal template, sorry. So what you're gonna do is you need a title page because we're doing APA, and you're just gonna follow the instructions here. So I'll change the link that's online, and you're going to basically say, this is the research question that we have. So you have your research questions here. And you're gonna do a little bit of an introduction, like why do you think this is important research? You're gonna do some looking at academic sources. So you're gonna need 3 of 5 that relate specifically to your research. Then you're going to say, this is what your research question, this is what we're trying to figure out. And then you're going to propose a methodology. So you can use the methodologies that are in your book in chapter 4. Or you can, if you have another idea, you can just let me know. But basically, this proposed methodology is like a recipe. It's going to say, this is what we want to do, and this is how we're going to do it. So let's say using this kind of question as an example, let's say you want to know whether or not your peers or roommates or family members believe that social media is an addiction. So in the proposed methodology, you would write something like, I'm going to ask my friends and family, or our group is going to ask our friends and family whether or not they believe social media can be addiction. And then you're maybe going to say why or why not do they believe that. And that is going to be how you're going to collect your data for the final project. So you can see when you get to the final, and this will be due during finals, the finals part of term. So when you get to this, you're doing a very similar thing. See, introduction, literature review, research questions. If this is in a good place when you do your proposal, you're literally going to copy and paste it. And then in the methodology section for your final, you're going to explain what you did. Did you follow your recipe from your proposal? Why or why not? And then you're going to explain to us what you found out. So that, again, that is not due until week 8, but the proposal is prepping us for that experience. Okay, that's kind of all we have going on this week. All, that sounds like a lot, but I just wanted to let you know and get you this information as soon as possible. Of course, if you have any questions about grades, assignments, what's happening this week with the proposal next week, or that final during week 8, you're always welcome to send me an email or Rachel or message me through Remind. Remember, it's not a group text, so if you send something to me, no one else sees it. And I hope that our lecture video that goes along with this will be helpful information as well. So have a good one. See you in a minute.